Welcome everyone to another edition of Endgame Finance. Today I have some troubling news coming out of China for you guys, and it actually might be time to sell off Chinese stocks, Chinese shares. If you own Alibaba, if you own Weibo, if you own Didi, it actually might be time just to get out of these stocks because a bomb has just dropped. Beijing has started taking golden shares in Alibaba and Tencent. These are two of their biggest corporations, they're mega caps. And what this basically means is that Beijing, the communist government out of China, is basically taking control of these companies. Now, golden shares amount to only a few percent of the total shares outstanding in the company. However, these shares give the Chinese government total controlling rights of this company, of pretty much any company that they have golden shares in, which is pretty much the whole tech sector. So in fact, Chinese government is now controlling Alibaba, Tencent, ByteDance, which is a creator of TikTok, and a lot of other companies as well. So TikTok is de facto now a Chinese government tool because they do own a controlling share of that company, ByteDance. So by extension, China can mobilize, utilize, weaponize this app for their personal national interests. Now, this is also very troubling because these companies are no longer a free market economies. They will be censored and they will be told which products to sell, which videos to put out, which markets they may enter or they may exit, whom they might compete with. And this is pretty much all ordained. So this is a communist system. This is no longer a free capitalist market economy, at least not in China. Chinese government is pretty much ordered which news information will be disseminated, which audio programs will be played, and they are basically ordering all their tech companies just to follow along and do what they are told to do. Now, some of you guys might remember Jack Ma was actually somewhat outspoken about just keeping Alibaba a free market company, letting market forces decide what's going to happen with the business, how the business will evolve. But the Chinese didn't really like that, so they imprisoned him. They pretty much confiscated his controlling share in Alibaba, his controlling share in other companies like Ant Financial. And Jack Ma is now in exile. He's hiding out in Japan. He probably stashed away a few $1 million. He can no longer go back to China. And the multi-$100 billion business he built out is gone. It's taken over by the government. Now, these companies like Alibaba and Tencent, they're pretty much piggy banks for Chinese government officials. These officials, based on the region where the company is located, they take a stake in the company. And even if that's just 1%, 1% of a $100 billion company is still $1 billion. They pretty much use for whatever they want, buy cars, mansions, houses. None of this money actually flows to people. Now, if this money was actually for the entire Chinese populace, they would probably form something like a national fund, and they would buy and hold these shares of these companies, national fund, and this would be for the entire population of China. However, these guys are just taking percents of the company and giving them to local government officials, while central government in Beijing basically monitors and controls everything these companies will do. So that was it real quick. If you guys hold Chinese companies, it's probably best to sell them right away. If you own Alibaba or Tencent, they are no longer free market companies. They are no longer really even a public company. If 1% of the shareholders, which is the government, has absolute and total control in all the voting shares, and basically everything that happens within the business. So these companies, Alibaba and Tencent, they are no longer free market public companies. If you guys hold them, I strongly recommend you guys sell them. If you have any comments or questions for me, please let me know below, and have a great day.